We have been seeing El-Rufai moving like a snake, you know, a short man devil. We can see he has been going here and there, going to see the likes of Babangida, Atiku. I mean, he has literally been returning back to his vomit, people that he has been calling all names. His agenda is clear and simple. His agenda is simply to topple Tinubu, a Southern presidency. As a Southerner, we must never forget that Nasir El-Rufai, on record, has been the only governor that came out without any measure of coldness, of regard for the Christians. In Southern Kaduna, he said it clearly that we will have a Muslim ticket in Kaduna for the next 50 years, and nothing can the Christians do. We can see how El-Rufai can be so divisive, how because of political gains he can be so desperate to break the political harmony, even if it's not there, but the little political harmony amongst the people, which are the Christians and the Muslims, how he doesn't care, he will break it and shatter it. Just some hours ago, El-Rufai and Atiku, they went to pay their last respect to Pa Edwin Clark. And when he was given the mic to speak, instead of El-Rufai to eulogize who Edwin Clark was, a man of valor, a courageous man, he was almost a lifetime chairman of the PANDEF. But instead, El-Rufai see the opportunity to market his new political agenda. You know, regrouping already. He is now trying to toast the South into the divide, his own side. The same El-Rufai now said that when Obasanjo was in power, that it wasn't Obasanjo that was doing the magic. That in fact, it wasn't the Okonjo-Iwealas, that it was Atiku who was pushing those economic policies that brought about the economic prosperity that we, experienced under the 8 years of Obasanjo. Don't forget, it was this same Nasir El-Rufai who in his book wrote that Atiku single-handedly sold all the national assets to his friends and colleagues who are cronies, a national asset that worth, let's say for instance, $500 million. They sold it for a penny. They sold it for a sum of not even up to the 10% of its original worth. Look at the Delta Steel Mill. The Delta Steel Mill worked around $300 million. They sold it for $30 million to a friend of Atiku. These are the people El-Rufai is now trying to repackage. I want you to join me and say, Olule. As an Igbo man, as a Southern man, join me and say that word again. Nasir El-Rufai and the northern oligarchs. You see those Fulani hegemony? Say it again. Olule. Some days ago, El-Rufai came out. He rubbed it on all our faces. He told us in the South, he said nobody can become a president if the North does not anoint it. Oh, have you forgotten? Well, that is it on the screen. He said it. He said the South can never be anything if the North, and most especially the northern cabals, which in this regard are the Fulanis, that if they do not anoint you, nowhere you go nowhere. And then he cited the examples of Peter Obi, he cited the example of how the North were the ones that gave Tinubu over 50 to 60% of the vote that made him who he is today. You know, it was the same El-Rufai that led the campaign of Muslim ticket. You know, he started preaching. He didn't give a damn if that Muslim ticket was an affront to what we call religious unity and religious tolerance. They did what has never been done in the history of Nigeria. They brought a Muslim ticket. But neither did he know. Neither did he know that it is this same Muslim ticket that the Southerners, surprisingly to them in the north, that even the Igbos are now pushing on the mantra that Tinubu must complete his 8 years. That nobody even cares about Obi anymore. You know, El-Rufai wants to use the moment, the current atmosphere, wherein one of his political godfathers, Ibrahim Babangida, said that that coup is not an Igbo coup, that, you know, it was just an agenda set by the British colony or British masters, that, well, at this point, the Igbo should forgive them. So he wants to use that moment of grief, a weak point wherein the Igbos are grieving. He wants to come in and enter them, wherein they could tell them, okay, you know what, let us work together. You guys will now have the opportunity to have a vice president, the first ever vice president since we started the Fourth Republic, who will be an Igbo man. You know, let us work together. He's trying to sell that snake oil, because everybody is a snake salesman. Snake oil is snake salesman. But he must understand that everybody eye don't open. I don't think El-Rufai looks his back when he walks. You know, El-Rufai is bargaining with North. He doesn't even know that the Middle Beltans have left them behind. Oh boy. He does not know that the Middle Beltans now, there is a very wide river that has crossed their path. Now that the Arewas now can no longer say that the Middle Beltans can be called into their divide. Those ones have said, we are going with the Igbos. We are ready to go with the South. If worst comes to us, we will go with the Southwest. El-Rufai must be taught a lesson. And I'm loving what is going on. Because in the Nigerian polity today, I love the fact that my Igbo brothers, and of course, my South, and even the Southwest, we've all come to the realization, and I must not forget my Middle Beltans too, the likes of the Plateau. I must not forget them, that at this stage, everybody's eyes have been wide open, like we don't see them clearly, like like whenever Tinubu came with, good intention reforms, like, well, in Katsina today, you have said that you don't want to have a beer parlor, you don't want to have an open bar, no hotels should sell alcohol, and then you now said all the ladies must cover their head, from the tip of their hair, every strand to the tip of their leg must be covered. That you've said. And then those Southerners that are living in Katsina have agreed. But when it is the point that we now need to share IGR, internal generated revenue, you now stretch down your holy hand to collect unholy and unholy money. Who does that? The El-Rufai that is corrosing Muslim, the El-Rufai that has been alleged for ethnic cleansing in southern Kaduna, all through his 8 years, he led the charge to collect VAT generated from alcohol consumption. You know? So you cannot think of yourself as a god. Oh, but because if you think of yourself as a god, as the all in all, as the alpha and omega of the Nigerian politics, you believe that without you guys, nobody can become the president. So I think it's an affront. I think it is counterintuitive. I think it is ridiculous of you to come to South, right? Seeking for votes and collaboration, that you guys need to unseat Tinubu. At this stage, we say Tinubu continue. Yeah, because we love the way Tinubu has been pressing your neck. Yes, because beyond Babangida, I think you want to become the next evil genius. You know, because you have a knack for pushing some political rhetorics that divide people. I mean, El-Rufai, there are so many of your records that have shown that he is too intensely divisive. You went on record, you neglected, you called the Southern Christians charlatans, non-existent. You said their impact in the Kaduna politics is non-essential, that is inconsequential, that they do not matter in the scheme of things, that the Kaduna will experience a Muslim ticket for almost 4 decades. And yet today, right, you now, as a follow-up to that fact, you said that the South can never produce a president if you people in the North do not support them. But some hours ago now, you you have now gone to the same Southerners, Southeasterners. You carried an article that you have called all names in the past, selling a snake oil to them and us. That let us kick Tinubu out. Kick him to where? I ask again, kick him to where? Well, you might succeed in convincing the core Northerners who believe that you are one of the best administrators from the North, whereby you can decide to, whip up religious sentiment. You might decide to convince the core Northerners, the likes of Zamfara, Katsina, even Northern Kaduna. But guess what? You cannot convince the Middle Belt, because the Middle Belt are not with you guys. The Middle Belt have come out to issue that word of departure, to issue that statement of separation, that we will no longer follow the political direction of the core Northerners, that we will not follow the political direction of the Northern Fulanese, that at this stage we want to be on our own, we want to be progressive, and it seems that for us to be only to achieve that vision of progressiveness, this is when we parley, we go into alliance with the Southerners, the Southeasterners, the Niger Deltans, the Southwesterners, the likes of Nupe and Co, which are Middle Belt. Of course, they have more affiliation with the Southwesterners, the Co guys, the Lawrence. Then when you talk about the Igala, the Benues, those guys, yes, they see themselves that they are closely related, the Lafias. Then some people in Plateau, they believe that they have that cultural affinity, similarity with those in the South. That again, in the South, they can practice their religion and be at peace with people. Not another notion wherein these are followers of Nasir El-Rufai, not El-Rufai, but his followers are not even propagating that Arabic is the official language that will be spoken in heaven. So therefore, everybody must be taught Arabic. That it should be made compulsory in the Nigerian schools across board. That is like as we have biology now, that Arabic should be made compulsory because it is the official language. Then these elements who are, this northern extraction, from this northern extraction, said that language like Yoruba, Igbos are inferior. That there is no point learning it. That if you learn it, fine for earthly benefit, but for heavenly benefit, you need to learn, accept, and adopt Arabic. That this, as written in the Hadith or Quran, will be the official language. That it is indeed the language of God, of Allah. You see, these are what they sold to the Hausa people. And this is why when Hausa person gives birth, the first school he wants his child to go is the Islamia. In Yoruba, we call it Ile-Ike, where they learn Arabic, the Quranic or the Arabic school. These were the things they used to hold down the progress of the Hausa people. They tie them down. As at 3-4 years old, when your child is supposed to be in primary 1, hereabouts, your child will still be attending the Islamia school, learning Ali Batiaba. So he would probably learn that for a year or 4 years, thereabouts. By the time your child is, let's say 6, that is when they want to say, go to nursery 1. This is why you see, they say that the South is ahead of them in education. They'll come out and tell you that, no, you people have to wait for us. So, on an annual basis, when the Southern universities, who are usually Southerners, by the way, when those ones are producing graduates in the engineering department, in the science and technology, the medical sector and all that, if those Southern universities are producing, for instance, 1,000 per year, the Northern universities will be producing 1,000 students in 4 years. You can see how backward. And you know what brought that retrogression? What is bringing that slow pace of producing graduates is because they believe that you need to go and study the Arabic first. Then when you now have the full knowledge, then before you now go and attend the Western education. And this is why we said, let us stop the confusion. Guys, if you know you want to have your official language in the North, excluding the Middle Belt, in the North, that 9-10 states of the North, you want to have your official language to be Arabic. In fact, you want to be included as just as Egypt is where they call, was it Arabic, the Islamic world of Egypt, or Egypt Republic, Islamic Republic of Egypt, whatever it is called. If you in the North want to be seen as maybe Islamic Northern Nigeria, whatever name you guys want to call it, or maybe Islamic Republic of Arewas, whatever you guys want to call it, this is why we in the South have begged you guys. Haven't begged, you guys did not yield. Now we are supporting Tinubu. That Tinubu, Kukuma cut them off, break them. Let everybody, we don't need another civil war. We do not need another civil war. We don't need it. Let us Kukuma, you say you want to, we said let us go into school together. When I give birth, my child goes to crèche, from crèche, playgroup, from playgroup, they get into nursery 2, nursery 1, the primary 1, or nursery 1, whatever the case, the structure is, as a 5 years old, your child should already be in primary 1, but you as a 5 years old, as a Northerner, because you believe that the official language in heaven is Arabic, so therefore, you push that propaganda, you push that narrative, you brainwash your people that going to that school at that early age is totally wrong, that they should go to Arabic school first. And when my own child, as at 16 years, has graduated from secondary school, your own child as at 16 years is just getting to JS2 or JS3. By the time my child is 21 years, he has graduated. Your own child just want to graduate. My own child has graduated from university. Your own child just want to graduate from secondary school and probably start seeking for admission. And by the time my own child is working, when he wants to get an opportunity in the federal commission, Federal civil service, you tell me that there's a quota system, that okay, you know what, that slot we will keep it for this Abu that is still in SS3 when he comes out. So because he is not done, let us look for another northerner who can stand in for him. When he's done, he will come and occupy that space, because we are operating in quota system. You people cannot go faster than us. You guys are moving too fast. This is what they want. These are the propagandas the likes of El-Rufai and co support. Because if you can tell us that a Muslim ticket would occur in a state that you know is polarized, there's dichotomy of religion, and you said that it's only a Muslim ticket that will last for at least 4 decades, then you can, of course, support such agenda. And you, as El-Rufai, Malam, you have failed, reject you. If a Shawara does not get the ticket, does not win, if Peter Obi does not win, I tell you that as a collective, the South and the Middle Belt would rather ask Tinubu to continue, because we know he is a greedy man. He's a man who understands what it means to protect his own territory. He will not watch the Fulani to bring their own, overly rulership agendas into his territory. He will protect it, and if he sees they are going overboard, he will rather cut everything like a bread. And that is what, at this point in time, is a solution for Nigeria. Thank you.